I'm going to announce it. But we're going to hold an outdoor Easter blowout service, not online. A national gathering. You can come from all over, like Woodstock. And we're going to gather and lift up Jesus Christ. I'm not ashamed that Dr. Rodney got arrested. I'm ashamed that when they wanted to arrest preachers for having church in an entire state, there was only one to come for. Shame on every European full gospel church. Bunch of sissies that shut down during this thing. Catholic Church not having holy water in the lobby. How holy is the water then? That should be a sign to you that your whole religion's a fraud. Any faith that doesn't work in real life is a fake faith. Bunch of pansies. No balls. Got neutered somewhere along the line and don't even realize it. No mass gathering. Let me tell you, if the devil doesn't want there to be mass gatherings, it's time to hold mass gatherings. If I lived in Italy, I would call an open-air crusade to pray for the sick. If you have to go to jail, go to jail.
Well, he seems like a very nice guy. Very Christ-like. It just blows my mind. That's Jonathan Shuttlesworth. He's a televangelist and he co-founded Revival Today TV. In the second video I played there, he talked about how it's not manly to use hand sanitizer and men shouldn't be doing that. That's some real twisted logic when you're looking at your own masculinity and shows that perhaps you have something to hide there. If you're that laser focused on what hand cleaning techniques constitute manliness. Perhaps you're maybe a little over-focused on your manliness. But the reason his wand is in a knot, to borrow a phrase Hermione used in Harry Potter, there have been way too many marathons on, and the quarantine's starting to get to me, is because his good friend, Pastor Rodney Howard-Browne, was just arrested for continuing to host services in violation of the quarantine laws. Pastor Rodney Howard-Browne was booked on misdemeanor charges of unlawful assembly in violation of public health rules after flouting social distancing orders at the River at Tampa Bay Church. Howard-Browne, an ally of President Donald Trump, has been an outspoken opponent of social distancing requirements, claiming his church has machines that can stop the coronavirus and vowing to personally cure the state of Florida himself. I've covered this guy before. He thinks that Hollywood is filled with Satanists that drink children's blood. So that's a thing. And he has a semi-large following. He's been to the White House to meet with Donald Trump. That is not a joke. And this guy, Shuttlesworth, is a big friend of his. They're two buddies, two peas in a pod, in a very COVID-19 infected pod. And if it was just the two of them ranting and raving to one another, that would be one thing. It would largely be amusing. We could make fun of them. And I don't really have a problem making fun of people like this because they're extremely cruel, even though they're also mentally not right. But it's because if you infect a bunch of people at your coronavirus Woodstock and you encourage them not to use hand sanitizer because that's for pansies, yeah, you're going to hurt the rest of us. You're going to hurt a lot of other people. And I think when other people, Europeans, people from Asia, whatever, South America, people look at our evangelical culture in the United States, they don't understand why they're so aggressively anti-science, anti-safety. Seemingly, the Christian thing to do would be to not be so selfish and stay home for a little while to ensure that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people don't die. But that's because Christianity, evangelical Christianity in this country, and the culture behind it is largely not based on Christianity. It's based on cultural identifying factors, and those cultural identifying factors are deep conservatism, racism, anti-science, anti-intellectualism, anti-knowledge. And nothing exemplifies that more than what we just saw in those video clips. What we saw from Rodney Howard-Browne being arrested for continuing to hold service, and what we saw from Jonathan Shuttlesworth there. Because they don't care about the safety of their congregation, they just care about continuing to peddle the cultural points that made them rich.